Hey, my name is Omar Moulay and my podcast is about manufacturing snowboards. In this podcast, you'll see the history of snowboards, examples of different materials used, and the machining processes of a general snowboard. Towards the end, you will see what could happen to you if a snowboard is poorly manufactured. Okay, so let's take a look at how the pros use the snowboards first. Although that looked very easy, unfortunately we're not all pros like Antonio, and that is very hard to acquire such skills. Throughout time, snowboarders went through a lot of changes. The following snowboards are in chronological order of age, with number 1 being the oldest. Number 1 is called a snurfer, and it started off as 2 skis laced together. As you already know, snowboards nowadays look like number 15. Various snowboards use different technologies. For instance, the following board has a layer of urethane in between to dampen a spring effect when a snowboarder performs tricks. Urethane is the material used to make skateboard wheels. In order to manufacture a regular snowboard, we need to use drilling, silk screening, molding, press working, operations using bend saw, and sanding. Various kinds of woods are used depending on the board being made. Holes are drilled for inserts to secure bindings. A template is used to ensure precision of the hole's dimensions and locations. Aluminum inserts are secured and embedded in the wood through a sheet of fiberglass to give better supports for the inserts. The board is now clamped to make working on it easier. An extremely strong adhesive called epoxy is applied between the wood and the sheet of fiberglass at room temperature. It is necessary to remove any extra epoxy and air bubbles so there will be a good adherence between the wood and the fiberglass. A process called silk screening is then used to paint a resistant plastic which makes the top of the board. The ink must dry for several hours before the board can be touched again. Molding and press working are then used to mold the board to a desired shape. The heat trapped in the mold makes the epoxy set and harden. Excess epoxy and wood are removed by a manual operated bandsaw. To retain a high cutting precision, a bandsaw blade must be changed every 50 boards. Silk screening is then used again to apply the final coat of paint. New holes are drilled again to find the original holes drilled at the beginning of the process. Sanding removes surplus garnish from the edges of the board. The overall board gets manually checked with a razor blade to ensure that the various materials adhered well to each other. And finally, to the last step, the board is checked to see if it was well manufactured. Apparently not this one. Let's now take a look at what could happen with bad manufacturing. The board split as he was trying to do a trick. Let's take a look. Once again, my name is Omar Moulay and thank you for watching.